Hello there, everybody. This is Cholera, somewhat recovered from Game 1, and this is Game 2 of the Winners League, where none other than the Mantoss, who slayed the Dinotoss last game, will be facing his next opponent, who he will hopefully crush once again in between his quadriceps and his calf muscles. That is right, in the back of his knee he can kill people. But yeah, this is Odin. Zerg on Samson Khan, and looks like he can't handle the extreme cold that is in South Korea right now, whereas Reach is just you know, totally cool and collected and totally totally awesome. Yeah, but this game is about to get heated up. This is a PvZ on Andromeda, which is actually quite good for Reach because this is a very Protoss favorite map against Zerg. It's almost 2-to-1. I think it's more like 60-40 actually, but it's quite good for Protoss because they can pick up their mineral only and their natural expansion with gas, and usually prevent the Zerg from picking up more than their first 3 bases. And with 3 bases like that for Protoss being so easy to hold, they can really just beat up the Zerg in the mid game. And we'll see what happens here, what Reach decides to do in this game. We'll see if he decides to go for the very manly but also quite stupid 2-gate on Andromeda, or if he does what's smart and a little bit girly and goes for a Forge Fast Expand. And Odin, meanwhile, is another Zerg on Samson Khan. He's one of their few Zergs, actually. Samson Khan really doesn't have any top-notch Zergs or even medium-notch Zergs. I guess they have Bai Great this season, who's pretty darn good at Zerg versus Zerg, but has just average stats for every other matchup. In fact, he has horrible stats for Zerg versus Terran, standing at 1 and 5. Meanwhile, here Odin, looks like he's at the upper right, by the way, and Reach, in case you don't know somehow, is a Protoss at the lower left. He is going to go for the Forge Fast Expand. Not nearly as manly as just I don't know, a 3-gate no gas all-in rush, but you know, he's decided to do it because this is Andromeda. And it was a build that was revolutionized, of course, by the girliest of all Protoss players, Bisu. But that's alright. It is a smart build on Andromeda, being such a macro map. And you know, Samson Khan really needs good Zergs because once this format goes back to the normal Pro League format, you know, obviously in the first 4 games you need all 3 races represented. But I guess, you know, having Great there is not a bad choice either, because Great is so good at Zerg versus Zerg that he can dominate against, you know, lesser Zergs. And on most maps where they're going to put both players can be put as Zerg, you know, certain maps are just very favored for Zerg. He can get lucky, get Zerg, and do well. Anyway, though, let's go back to this game. Looks like a 12 hatch being set up there for Odin. Odin not scared of manlots, evidently. That's interesting. If I were him, I'd be building like a 5 pool. And not to attack, actually. I'd be building like a 5 pool and 2 sunken colonies. That's right, I'd be that scared of the manlots if I was playing Reach. 5 pool into dual sunken colony, yes. Probably adding a 3rd one after I get my first Overlord. But anyway, looks like he is not scared for some reason, probably because he's crazy. And Reach, meanwhile, having scouted the 12 hatch, is going to do the correct thing and go Forge Nexus here. Odin, also having sent out a scouting drone, is going to spot Reach, going for a standard opening here on Andromeda. Cross positions, going to benefit Odin a little bit, because he's farther away from the Protoss, but not too much. Not as much as if it was a Zerg versus Terran, where the Terran is quite slow in getting across the map. And looks like these 2 drones have done a good job on damaging this man probe here. We'll see how manly this is. Maybe it's a defective probe, a hoe probe, that got mixed in the batch somehow. Oh, looks like an early gas. Oh, nope, never mind. Not an early gas. Standard gas timing here for Odin. He's going to go for that 3-hatch gas, probably 3-hatch, into Scourge. Very standard build for pretty much every macro-heavy map. Although, you know, certain other things are possible. Fast Lurkers is possible. 3-hatch into Lurkers first. Isn't too bad on Andromeda either, because you can contain the Protoss in quite well, because there is that relatively sort of long passageway leaving out of your natural expansion. So if you can get a couple of Lurkers there, you can stop the Protoss from moving out for quite a long time. But most likely it will be that standard build. Oh, that was definitely a hoe probe there. Back hoe probe. Not lasting very long inside of the base there. So Odin only having to build 2 Zerglings there. It's going to give him a little bit of an early boost to his economy. And Reach now a little bit late on his probe transfer actually. But that's alright. Like I said, he's too busy saving the world to practice things like macro for StarCraft. I mean, seriously. But yeah, Reach now scouting out with another probe. It's going to probably get into the base. I think he probably will get into this base. He's also looking for an additional base, but it's not going to be found. And Reach with only 1 cannon there is going to be absolutely fine, though, against 2 Zerglings. We'll see what Reach decides to do here. The most popular strategy for Protoss has been Rework Sair here on this map. But Reach, of course, be going for a +1 manlot attack is certainly very possible, although actually we'd be seeing the Forge spinning by now if it was +1 speed lots, but it's not. So most likely it is going to be a Stargate, and then probably into Reavers is my guess. Given that he did exhibit very good Reaver micro last game, very, very impressive in fact. Managed to beat Stork. I mean, still, just even if he loses to Odin, he's got the big win under his belt. He's got Stork. He's got a pterodactyl pelt under his belt. He is Turok, and that is just awesome. Alright, looks like Reach is not going to send his manlot out, even though they could probably kill at least 6 Zerglings. They can't kill that many. And meanwhile, he is getting his Stargate. Spire first here from the Zerg player Odin. No second gas though, that's what they're showing us, by the way. So he most likely is going to go for that Scourge into 5-hatch build that we've been seeing so often. And there is the robotics facility, so we are going to see Reaver Sair here, or Sair Reaver. And I believe I actually casted a game of Odin fighting Bisu on the very same map, and Bisu ripped him apart with Sair Reaver. And we'll see if Reach manages to do the same thing. Oh, looks like another expansion going down also for Odin. So Odin is going to be going for 5-hatch most likely. Going to get some Scourge out, and then he's going to get some Hydras out most likely once he sees Reaver Sair. He's going to go for a lot of Hydras, possibly with Burrow if he's smart. And we'll see what Bisu, sorry, we'll see what Reach does. Whoa, you can't mistake those two. Obviously, just because I'm tired commentating. If you saw the two next to each other, you'd be thinking that one was the guy and one was his girlfriend. That's pretty much what you'd be thinking. Looks like we're going to see Park Jun-suk take out an Overlord here. Not much Odin can do there. He's not going to get any scouting information really with that Overlord either. And there is the robotic support as expected. And +1 attack there, air attack for Reach. So he is going to stick to a lot of Sairs, and hopefully it does him a lot of good here. Also getting a photon cannon and keeping a Sair at home just in case there's some kind of Muta rush here. Although clearly there is not. This is the standard modern Zerg build here. 5-hatch Zerg build. And it is quite good against Reaver Sair, although in the hands of someone so capable as Reach, we'll see how good it is. So far it is just the best build I think right now for Protoss in general. Ooh, looks like Reach getting chased around with his Corsair. Let's see how good his Sair micro is. Sair are pretty manly, I think, also.